decentralized to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from current-based life to silicon-based life to a digital twin of the world that they can control that is disconnected from spirit. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind is where you will stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast. From trumpet, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. Protect plus homeschool, our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posses. Worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed our children's spirits from robots. All of us from current bases to the cold base should be when the shit show stops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. My decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. When the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher, no, some pastor or preacher. Was released represent with this passion to speak of. After doing 25 years in the beach cuffs, realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. So my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
In my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, leave no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, leave no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, leave no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, leave no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up.
Gotcha.
Back to get housed up. I'm like an execution style, too late, but I'm to the curtain. You You wrapped in a cloak of flame, my God, it's overdue. Your time is in the end. Knocked out silent without sin. You put me on the planet with justice to win. The press is about to get rolled down. Some press is attached to the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger popping like Jericho. Back by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle, who judges the hypocrite, who sits through the pitiful symbol. One thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating for the actions of the protective service. With the black flash, this don't make any kind of skill. No, I'm ill of all citizens who have it to understand. O'Neill's too late when the cats get bills. Don't believe the GC like on hits close to home. You gotta act the bone when it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all dead in my principal sight. It's gonna be killed whenever I fight. I'm above, I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn, like we gon' get them off. We gon' pass the pipe. 3 pounds, no way, pressure. Got to be a pressure. No surrender. 3 pound pressure. No way, pressure. Drop the oppressor. No surrender. 3 pound pressure. No way, pressure. Drop the oppressor. No surrender. 3 pound pressure. No way, pressure. Drop the oppressor. No surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in the ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump. Gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stops.
Oh my God. Oh my. Damn, that's good. We be hitting, boy. My boys too. Oh man, I can play y'all forever. We be hitting. If I get nauseous, it's because of the zinc along with the selenium. Just trust me. And that's why you saw me put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in there for fat to help with staving off, because zinc makes me nauseous. Well, there's zinc. Even though this is a plant-based form, it's still processed. So you know what I mean? And there ain't no telling, because you know who's kind of controlling narratives with the rich folks. All right? I mean, you see in Milan, right? With a little melanated, with an Italian girl. Sicilians are us, right? But like I said, 4 or 5 Pakistani immigrants, young, attacked her. They were trying to, touch all of her body. And the police did nothing. But what people fail to realize is every individual in leadership roles is part, I'm going to use Zionism. It's bigger than that. And I'm not saying bigger than you, but it is, because you don't know. Zionism is a foundational narrative of the construct that they utilize. And we always, as I've always said, but most people don't even know, Theodore Herzl. And it's a big branch, Illuminati, this, that, a cult, whatever you want to call it. Rosicrucians, it goes on, and Knights Templar. It all steeps from the conquering of one land to the next, which when you look at the original people of France, Scotland, Ireland, now you still have the remnants there, but like I said, they already proved 3 generations they can whiten out. By the definition of ignorant people here who believe white literally means back then, that's what it stated. No, Zionism have always moved. Zionists, regardless of whatever you want to call them, have always moved differently. And when you move in that realm of darkness, the phonetics of it is kinetic. The phonetics is kinetic. It's a different kind of energy. And every time individuals start to catch up and find out, well, they do this forced reset. Stop worrying about what else, and don't even think about some of the things that I'm aware of, because I won't really say things. I'm not going to sit there having you believe in spaceships and aliens and all that goofy shit. Goofy stuff, excuse me. And they're working overtime. And some will say, well, then why did they murder Mussolini and his wife? Well, there are times they can't save all their partitioners. Y'all need to know that. There's a book. I have a pamphlet, but there's a book out on the Nazi witch cult trials. You know, and you know what, they created the World Court and UN and all that bullshit. It was supposed to be dismantled, but the Zionists used it as a tool, a weapon, a device to keep wars and to keep putting people, you know, in wars at each other by the leaders who would consummate that relationship with no indifference. Anywho, remember I was expressing to you about the bones of under France and the catacombs. Those aren't catacombs. Those are, as you know, over here we have them all up under the ground, and a lot of our people have forgotten about them. War does that, but and Italy, what they call Italy today, what they call France today, what they call they're all up under there. All those bones stacked. Those are your relations. Those are what you would consider the sons and daughters of Shem, by the definition and narrative. And besides the ones, because see, you got to remember, my great grandmother. I remember her and my grandmother talking, and they had an argument. It was a big argument. So about this things that we still got to be quiet about. Now you got to remember there were hunter parties, military, that would run around, and they would come, and literally we fought them. We fought the military that came here, and it was some ass kicking. So, but and it was always, let's make a peace treaty, because we killed a lot of them. Now a lot of y'all just too weak, and your hormones are jacked. You can't get your minds right. You can't finish what you start. You can't stand on morals and laurels. You want to fight in your head, so you think you can fight outside, and you think that you're finding everything. Every time I turn around, everybody says, I want to do this and make this right. And you don't know the first principles or the first steps to make anything right. And then come along individuals like myself who say, this is what you can do. It's tiring because you have not done it for so long. So when you start doing it, it's hard to implicate it. Now, I'm not talking about the big I and little you type thing. I am just saying that there are things that you could do. You know, I self-heal. Doesn't mean that I fully regenerate and all this kind of stuff. I self-heal because I'm very aware of everything being jacked up. I'm very aware that there's over 100 different fruits and vegetables that used to be here that you can still find in South America. You can still find in other countries where they started growing them, as to say that it's not here no more. Like okra was a staple of Louisiana, Mississippi. It was a staple in this part of the Americas, whatever they want to call it, for a long time. And I had this goofy Pan-African in New York trying to tell me where okra came from. A young cat. And you can't make this up. You know, every once in a while I get this little brass of hate that rises up in me, and I have to knock it down. That quick. But then I look at it and I remember why. But him and a couple other people in Harlem was trying to debate me. And then I started pointing out key factors of okra, how it was utilized, the dishes. I went through about 50 different dishes. There's nowhere, maybe 3 or 4, you know, over in Africa, in certain places. Because, you know, Liberians, when we created Liberia, right, we took a lot of heirloom, what they call heirloom today. We took a lot of seeds over there, and we grew an abundance of gardens, pumpkins, squashes, stuff they didn't have over there, never. I told y'all to study about the starving times, because I'm tired of this infighting with these ignoramuses over here. You know, there's so many confident informants. What makes you think they're not paying them to do the dumb shit, speak, the sonnetters and all that? All right, 1 cup of tea. I want to tell a little story, and I'm gonna shut you guys out first, but I want to tell a little story. It's a little hypothetical, made-up story. But I really want you to pay attention. You see the Republic when they turn on the Jedi, you know, the clones, which alludes to post-Clone Wars. But I really want you to pay attention. I didn't perfect the story. It's pretty much fly on a whim. It's based on me being able to tell you in roughly about 3 paragraphs. But I'm attempt to lay it out in a quick little concise short story that hopefully you can grasp the beginning, follow through the middle where it has you wondering, and then give the cap off at the end. But I'm going to leave it a hanger because I need you to facilitate what you think. All right. You might put the cash up if you want to donate. This be fine. I was thinking about running to town, but it's supposed to rain again. But it's supposed to be a short one. Tomorrow's supposed to be a heyday. Electric thunderstorms. We actually saw the moon was over there, but there was light, and you could see the lightning in the sky, but it wasn't coming to the ground. I was like, here we go. But anyway, I got to pick up a couple more things. Like I said, T's gonna start working on his, and I got to run up here today, hopefully, because it's supposed to rain. I think around like 2, 3 o'clock. I got to put some screws in the deck. I got to get that other insulation fiberglass lined out, and get a couple more pallets going sideways. So it's like, you know what I mean. And then but when I go live, I'm going to show you guys how I build the door up and start framing it up and puttying. I was supposed to be doing that before I went live. I only had like 5 minutes, putting putty on the front and then getting that painted before the rain comes. And it held up through the rain really good. I mean, it's fabulous. But I'll turn it around so you can see what I did right quick. So you see I got because I want to start getting the bedding area. I want to start getting that mounted, getting it leveled. I'm going to have to build a little platform in the front to hold those up. A little square, you know what I'm saying? To hold them up. And as I put those on, now one of them's got a little bend to it, a little twist that happened because the way it was laying in the heat, it does that, which is fine. And then I'm going to get the lot where I tighten them in and start framing up. All right, that's already leveled on the top over the end here. I want to get that. I got to cut the 2x6s here, and I got to get the 2x6, which I just looked at, get it cut up and put it where the bolts are going to go. So, all right. So I thought I would, damn it, they ain't turning around. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. But when I go live again, I'm not going to say a whole lot like yesterday. I'm just going to work, and hopefully you enjoy it. Like I said, it's not a garage. It ain't this, that. I'm the first one building one of these outside, and it's not hard. It's different. You know what I mean? Okay. So we're going to start with this young man named George. Oh, let me shout you guys out. My apologies. Millennial, hey, what's up, mama? Oh, Mac, Tony P, what's happening? Tom, what's happening? Benji, what's going on? Whatever this is, what's going on, Agadori? What's happening? Totally agree with the fact we took seeds over there. I'm gonna have a big sauce. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Without, yeah, no, I know it for a fact. I looked at one of the manifests for one of Marcus Garvey's ships, and yeah. Even the sailors that went to conquer and do things with taking people from the Caribs and stuff over there before Marcus Garvey came to work out a solution. It's always a solution with designers. Yeah, it had it on there. It had all pumpkin squash, all different kind of acorn, peanut squash, all stuff they didn't have over there. They were literally, it's like after war and the children left or threw out the seed, the babies out. Like they were damn near eating raw meat and stuff. I mean, seriously. When you start really researching the history, you learn these things. Okay. Like I keep telling my people, like, it always seemed like to be a liberal state or chasing straight hair nonsense. We did not run around dancing and buck in deer skins. We did not mock. Everything we did on the other part was ceremonial and respect to certain creatures or sentient beings. So we never saw the animals as animals or beasts or anything. We saw them as part of, connected to us. Like I am so done with the fake Jews, with the fake natives, with the ignoramuses, the pan fries. Like I'm not. There's no way any of them could debate. I don't care if they was to sit down and give them another 100 years to read. They could never debate me at all. And it's not because I know people from there who I'm in contact with on a regular. I've had a couple of them say, you need to get your people together. They're crazy. People in Africa, let's look at these people over here. Some of the ones that want money, Nigeria. Look, Nigerians are working with the Vatican. I feel it. With the frauds, acting like us, dressing up, sagging pants, all that. All right. And a few others, but mostly the Nigerians and a lot. And you'd be surprised at some of the conversations I've had, or even the messages, the kikes that I get in other ways. Okay. But anyway, I want to go ahead and get this story going, and I really want you to pay attention. It's not going to be like you're opening a book, unless you want to formulate it like that. All right. So let's say a young man named George. So George's father was in the Navy. He was what we call in the Navy a bubblehead, which means a submariner. Now, I forget the class, but nuclear class, Nautilus, or was that prior to? I think the Nautilus class is anyway, it doesn't matter. Well, let's say the Nautilus class. His father was, I would say, in the Korean War, middle of Vietnam War until after extract, sitting off the coast and stuff. And then come back home, and around the 80s, George would follow his father's footsteps. No, his father wasn't passed away. And he would go aboard the same, he wanted to get stationed on the very same Nautilus bubblehead or submarine to be a submariner. He went to boot camp, went through the A schools, B C schools and all that stuff, right? A schools, C schools. He's got a couple of degrees, and he wants to work and with the nuclear science or whatever that is, I forget. Anyway, he's fighting for these orders. He's been fighting for these orders for roughly around 3 years. And the Navy. Now, he's been aboard ships. He's pretty good, very good at what he does. So he gets a beacon, a light, when he goes to see some commander, XL, executive officer, and he's with a master chief and a few others. And they go in there to question him about why he wants to go to that ship. Unbeknownst to him, he's not aware of what's going on. So he prepares for that meeting, but he reaches down and he talks with his father, his papi. All right, and his father's like, what? You are at the top of the class. You are now, he's been in there for roughly 5 years. He's in E5, get himself ready, the 3-year mark for E6. And he wants to do it all out there, 2 months out at sea without hitting land, underwater. He wants to do it on his father's ship that his father retired on. So his father, when he goes to him and says, what is this all about? And his father says, George, I don't know what that is. You're at the top of the class. You've got all these things together. You should be a clear shot in. Hell, I'll let you get the helm and steer it. So George was a little taken aback because he really, really wanted to do this in retrospect, a response, and to honor his father, the Navy, America, the great, blah, blah, blah. So he goes in to see the commander. He's yesterday with the chief, senior chief, and the master chief is sitting in there, not the command master chief over the Navy or whatever, right? But and so the commander starts asking him the questions. What is it? He knows everything about George. He's gold stripes. You know what I'm saying? He's good conduct. He's got gold stripes. You know what I'm saying? Working on a second one. He's got the 4-year one. Z5 made everything without missing a beat. No P&A points or anything. Frock. Every time he took the test, every time he started as a seaman with all that. When he went to sea school was when he got the 3rd class. He came out petty off the 3rd class, excuse me. Anyway, so that asking him why he wants to do it. So doesn't want to get his father caught up, but they're aware of who his father was, you know, senior chief, blah, 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 retired. And he goes ahead and he expresses, you know, I work with nuclear science, da, 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 and I'm pretty good with the weapons. And I really, I work many different aspects on the sub, firefighting, qualified, shoring, and all that. He's even stared, he's worked at the helm, but that's not his thing. He even worked as a radio man just to assist to learn the ship. Because you got to remember this, how many guys you think are on the sub? It's good for everybody to pretty much know in case somebody falls ill or there's an accident and a quarter of the, you know, to keep the buoyancy have to be locked away and flooded and they're half dead at the, you know what I'm saying? So they've got to all be able to keep the thing moving afloat. Okay, now you got that. So once the commander hears all that, now this is just drama. For the commander's not going to let this young man go to that ship. Not now. Now in the world, what's happening, there's a lot of things going on. As you see the tariffs, it's just pretty much like it is now. Earthquakes, there's wars being fought, famine, animals not surviving, dams not being broken that should be destroyed, a lot of regular flow of rivers. Everything is happening. And he's just grateful to be in the military because he knows he's going to get a mill. He knows he's got a job, and he knows that it is for his duration or period. And so in the military, you become a little ignorant. Like, you know, police think they can act a fool because they got fools teaching them. And they, you know, don't worry, we got equality, immunity, and all this other retarded stuff. And they've lowered the standards after COVID-19 bullshit. They lowered the standards to hire a lot of dumb fucks, okay? And a lot of them, all right? And that's what you contended with. And this worthless, fake-ass government, who ain't no power, no nothing, will never smack the back of their hand and say otherwise. So, ergo, the executive officer, to which he doesn't even get to meet the commanding officer, because after all that great spew, his background is, you know, phenomenal. He's well tested. He knows these jobs in and out. He would be far from subpar, but he would be a very good, how would you say it? Bubblehead. He would be phenomenal. So when he has to wait about a week, and he gets the crushing blow. No, you're not going to that ship, but we're going to let you visit the ship. So George says, really? Can my father come? Bobby come? Of course. Now, on that side, they're kind of ignorant because you got to remember, they've got people who fold in. They know how to act, all right? So 4 months down, he spends it with his wife, his kids who are, you know, middle school. Well, they're roughly about 10, 11, whatever you want to call that, right? And the father's like, yo, he's getting his dress clothes, like, and George is like, no, you're just gonna wear regular civvies, we call it in the military, civilian clothes, civvies, okay? And flies are retarded, man. They're going crazy. It's the humidity. Anyway, it's about 4 or 5 months, something like that, before embark, because it's out at sea, running through trials, whatever they may be doing. Now we get into the hypothetical. So roughly 4 or 5 months comes along. George and his pops ready to make the little 2-hour trip to Virginia, to the sub, you know, which called sub base. And yeah, the embarkation starts. And it was a 4-hour trip, yeah, where they're coming from. So they arrive, and it's kind of evening, getting a little dark. So they decide, you know, let's go. Because in Virginia, you know, you cross the street, you can see bars and stuff. You just go to a bar somewhere, and some of them a little hole in the wall, hardly nobody in there. You know, Margaret and Maggie at the corner with the Dolly Parton bouffant spray, suave hair stuck up all over the place, smoking that damn Viceroy or, you know, Camel or something, right? Sitting at the end, skinny as all can be. So they go and they order a couple of, y'all call them glizzies. I'm so tired of that dumbass. Anyway, they ordered them a couple of sausages because Virginia's pretty known at the bars, good damn sausages and onion rings. One of my favorites. Anyway, they say, oh, let's go back and hit the hotel and get up early in the morning and get to go and meet Destiny. So all night, George Father's having a hard time sleeping. This man sleeps like a rock. And he goes and says, George, I don't know, something ain't right. George's like, what are you talking about, Pop? We get ready to go on your old sub, and I'm a bubblehead like you, and gonna honor, it's gonna be wonderful, it's gonna be good, you're gonna enjoy it, and you know, take pictures, you know. He says, I don't know, you know, something don't feel right. Well, George, you know, young. God, sorry, Pop, we'll be all right. So they get in their little, damn, man, they get into their Chevy truck. No, the F-150 Ford, F-150, excuse me, that's Chevy. I'm looking at my truck. This guy's is retarded. Where the bats at, man? Anyway, and they head out to the base, go in, do all the checkout and everything. They go and they park. Oh, it's a little wet because the snow's melting. It's roughly around near the end of winter. I'm going to get some snow. And so they see it. Oh, and George's father's like, because he's done with good memories. George is excited because he really wanted to be on that ship. Anyway, there is a chief and an E5 waiting. And they're really, really prim, pressed, and proper. You know what I mean? Like blank face. Like if you looked in their eyes, it would be like a hollow. And George's father, he realizes that. He's like, oh, maybe he's really changed. And George is like, what are you talking about, Pop? Are those machines or are they people? George goes, those are people. He says, that's what you used to? He says, you see individuals that move like that every once in a while, but hey, they're on a sub. You're on the water. Dad used to come home kind of looking like that. He said, really? He said, nah, I used to come home, get drunk, pass out. You and the wife, I thought y'all was fighting. So I walked in the room that one time. Then I realized you was probably trying to make babies. But anyway, so they laugh. And he relaxes his pops. And they go, walk up the witch card, get up into the sub. And they notice that everybody is positioned. Now, I've been aboard subs. I've been aboard DD destroyers. I've been aboard a lot of ships. And he notices out of the norm with everything coming back not too long ago that there's, you know, after Tiger death and stuff like that, there's a lot of maintenance that goes on. There's really never nobody sitting around. And then there are those with the loved ones. Surprisingly, all heads on the sub being back for 3 days are all there and accounted for, present. So that struck George's father. And then George kind of looked with a quiet eye too and says, wait a minute. Everyone on this sub is here because they, you know, have a roster with, you know, you check in, you know, hey, Elsa Branch, going ashore. Roger that. You know. Anyway, all right. The roster's full. There's not a small city like ships I was on. It's not like 5,000 or 6,000 people, CIA contractors, civilian contractors, blah, 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 testing new stuff and equipment and weapons. No. They have their contractors, and you would never know it. Unless you notice that they're wearing sneakers while everybody else is wearing flight deck or steel-toed boots. Hey, baby. Okay. So now George is really, first of all, he's on the sub, and it's just magnificent. They've done upgrades and everything. And he's just, is this that? Is that this? And the individuals are very cinematic and robotic as far as telling the story. George's father wants to get off this hub. You would think somebody who retired working as a bubblehead, senior chief, he knows the environment and what it feels like, the movement of the people, the sellers, and everything. And he said, man, this is very weird, because he couldn't feel it. He could not feel that, anchors away, my boy, anchors away until we meet again. Is wishing you a happy voyage home. Anyway, he didn't feel that. He didn't feel like camaraderie. He didn't feel that bubblehead community. George started to notice too. He says, wait a minute now. So one of the guys came along when he started to feel someone said, hey, we got sliders and glizzies, hot dogs and all that down and fruit. So I was like, yeah, go on, because they eat pretty good. And went down there to get a couple sliders, some hot dogs and everything like that. And again, people are staring. It's real weird. Well, anyway, he enjoyed it, but he was grateful that he wasn't going to be stationed on that ship. He couldn't have been, trust me. Now we go six months down the road, and he gets a letter from the commander, from the captain, some of the commander, whatever it works, right? Some of the commander, the captain, whatever. And it says, this is his letter saying kind of why. They say, extraordinary, outstanding, but the sub today is experimental. Mind you, there's a whole bunch of subs, and there are 3 more like it. So he got the letter. He just tore the crap up. He didn't care. He was on another sub. Okay. That was still moving with an old Benson class, carrier that was going to be decommissioned to bring in the Nimitz or the, class. They have different classes now. Washington or whatever they're called now, for those who know. After that letter, a year and 3 months into his tour, all hell breaks loose. But the funny thing is, he's out at sea, and some subs, the communicators go off. Now, mind you, they're about running 225 deep, right? 225 feet. They're running. Sound, and red lights come on. General quarters. America has been struck 12 times. Every country has been struck. But they are attempting to find out who struck first. And in doing that, they're rammed in their sub by another sub. Do you think it's Russian, Chinese, Ukrainian? What kind of sub do you think it is? Then they start getting peak information coming out of Hawaii and a few other places saying there are cops turning on cops and executing them and putting them down. There are doctors and nurses running through the hospital, hitting IVs with teams. All those people in the old folk home, they go to eat their meals. There's a different staff feeding them. They're all done. Then they get a faint a faint radio charge. The Republic has turned on us. The Republic has turned on us. It means that America is one striking America and everyone else 3 subs. 85% of the police force gone. The military that's out there fighting, no re-ups, no ammo, no food, MREs, no nothing. No one's coming. So all of them, the jets, for some reason, they're all being destroyed on the ground wherever they sit. Is that not a hellified hypothetical, a story of so George and his ship are rammed by the very sub that he wanted to get on. They sink it. They have a sub. They have what you call it. It's nearby, right? We can go out. It's active and go out and target the very vessel. It finds it, and they sent 4 out, and they sunk it. They don't know where to go. They don't know where they should go. They don't know what port. They don't know if they should go to Hawaii, Puerto Rico. They don't know if they can go to the Philippines. They don't know where they can go. But they're staying on the radio to find out. Come to find out, every country attacked itself, and then what was left over attacked everywhere else. All the politicians have been long gone for about a week. Well, the ones who mattered in every country. They were actually doing videos as if they were in the parliamental houses or the White House or whatever, capitals, the state capital, whatever, all over the world. But they were doing mock underground or wherever they were at. Everything that they were doing was all stage, all theater. What do y'all think? Hey, Snow. Oh, wow. What's up, mama? Hey, Carrie. Hey, Jolene. And my baby girl. Hey, DeBondre. What's happening, man? DeAndre. 80s born. Norfolk, Virginia. You know it. Yeah. I just want, it was not a long story. It was just something I wanted you to listen. What do you think? Now, if I was to write it, I would talk about food industry, the changing of the guard, and that would really, really lock it in. You know, George is 12 years old on his way to middle school. You know what I'm saying? I would have really laid out, but I wanted to get it for you to look at something in lieu of the thumbnail statement and it being a story. Now, it doesn't mean I haven't taken it from somewhere else. I've taken it from one of the things I wrote about. So, and I just created phonetically the word George, the name, the title George. But on the other one, everyone's got different names, and it's a lot of melee acting out timeline, opens the door, creaks slowly. The gaze goes gray, and the lights in the corner in the back, and a shadow moves in, a shadowy figure moves in, and it's no more than, you know what I'm saying? That's how I write. So I want y'all to take that. If you got to listen to it again, listen. I want you to work with it and see what you come up with. All right? And I will read all, whatever it is you come up. Don't be all fast and you'll come up with something right now. I don't want to hear it. I know the brains are working over. I know it. But I really want you to think on it. I want you to look. I want you to, you know what I mean? Tie it in. Puzzle pieces. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I had to tell the story. I need my green tea and I don't want no caffeine because it's humid and, you know, I don't like jittery shit. But this, I'm going to get some pure green tea from China, the real stuff, or Japan. This is Japanese. This right here, this is tea lira. This is some really good green tea. But y'all know I'm not big on caffeine. It is so freaking good. I'm retarded. That is absolutely 4 ounces of water. Ah, this is the bomb. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the little story. I hope that it is practical and so in a way of storytelling. And I hope it was told all right. That was a perfect show start. Appreciate you, Carrie. Chaos. Oh, wow. And I saw my baby girl. I know that's right. But did y'all enjoy the story? Did you like it? Oh, like I have time for compasses. I actually wanted to say it last evening, right? And I crashed. Last 2 days I've crashed pretty early. I had me a couple I still got half a bottle of wine. I had me a couple of things of wine. I was like watching. I like listening to Chinese and then practicing what they're saying. You know what I mean? I really wanted to. I was like, I could probably do it right now. It's like 7:35. They'd probably be like, yo, you know. But I said, it's Monday. I didn't want y'all going to work and looking at your coworker like this. Or your boss come out talking strange and you like holding your folder talking about something. Is you real? Y'all know how y'all get them looks when you're at work. Y'all be behind them little cubby like this looking up over it. George, you farting, man. Hey, y'all, man, we gotta fire him. He stank. You know, y'all know how it is when y'all be in them little cubbies. You work in a hospital, walking down, and you like, oh, there go that nasty one came out the bathroom. You cross all the way over the other side of the hall, walking down in the hospital, and you know, because she stank so bad in that bathroom that you had to hold it and you had to go, but you had to find another bathroom because you just could not handle, you know what I'm saying? I'll stick to my few beers. Oh, as long as they're German, 80 born, as long as they're German, bro, Bavarian, preferably. Like there's a lot of fog across the eyes, but things are seen through the cracks. Yeah, Tom, absolutely. I'm out of the caffeine. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't. Caffeine is pretty much in a lot of things, but green tea is very beneficial. That's why I'm having my little 4 ounces of it. A couple of swigs and it'll be on. And my seaweed is going to go on my tuna. I just want to have a few pieces. That's one serving. About 8 pieces. I used to have the big sheets, so I used to make my sushi. Excuse me. I made a sushi that everybody said there ain't no way in the world. I fried chicken livers and gizzards. I know how to soak them overnight and get them where even the gizzards that usually chicken. Well, we know how to cook chicken gizzards and liver, and I would cut them all kind of a long way, and I would deep fry them, and I would deep fry them in catfish fry. Yeah. No, babe, catfish fry, Zatarans catfish fry. Anyway. And I'd have the Zatarans rice made, Louisiana kind of like dirty rice. And I would get that and do the chicken, gizzards, and livers. Just put them in there with the Zatarans on the little bamboo with that big, long, seaweed sheet. And I roll them bad boys up and make a honey mustard, honey spicy, like Chipotle, but not Chipotle. I didn't eat that crap. I don't like it now. But a spicy honey mustard sauce with mayonnaise. And that's what after I cut them up, I just cut them like nice little 1-inch pieces. Everybody going, man, I make like 8, 9 of them. And so you listen to me, go ahead and make it. And I would take that, put that sauce and eat that. That you talk about, I was giving Japanese, them run for their sushi, raw ass, worm eating fish stuff. No hate to them. Those are my people. All right, but yeah. So I just gave you a little something from Chef Red. Okay. And if you make it, make sure your oil is properly heated. Use coconut oil. Peanut oil is best, but it's not that healthy. Coconut oil, use coconut, and you can add olive oil, Moroccan preferably, or avocado, and get it up to the right heat. Throw a little salt in there, and then fry it. Trust me. A banger. All right. Right. That story was very enjoyable. I appreciate it. Then listen to Oracle or Oracle or Orbital or Oratory. Oracle. It's funny, my coworkers. I am not angry, just focused. There you go. He's not gonna listen to Oracle for work. Appreciate you, Millennial. Orbital. Okay, I'm gonna slap this. Sometimes I'm about to take the phone to chuck it. Now I ain't gotta take nothing. Damn, man, I wish I had my phone. Dreamy, I like it. Add to the outline, please, Red. Absolutely. Anyway, These flies are going retarded. It's humid here. It feels like Florida, guys. I mean, it's real humid. Army helicopter. Yeah, you're sticking them on. Nasty thing. That son of a bitch flying low. That mofo flying low, cuz. Real low. He's right behind the hill. Oh, there's one up there. That's commercial. There's one way over there. That's the commercial one. He just dropped down like out of nothing. That's Popo or Border BP. Is that Border Patrol? Anyway, I don't know. Oh, I don't. I just like to look at them, see if I can tell what it is. Other black ones went that way. This one coming across. I was looking at the black one, then this one's right here. I'm like, oh, dog, man. Anyway, you should watch me try to change a duvet civet. Yeah, flies, man, they suck. The flies are retarded. I know everybody's having time. It's the AI trying to spell it however it wants to. You ever comment on something and check it like 5 times? Because you notice lately it's been weird. You know, I'd screenshot mine just to make sure, and then you post it. And sure enough, it's jacked up. And then I go and I screenshot that and I share the original timestamp with the boy saying, look, the AI is goofy, y'all. For real, for real. I did it 3 times. Something ain't right with these people, man. With these things, they're just retarded. Anyway, I don't want to get into politics and name calling. You know what I'm saying? My man said, because that's our line out here in Virginia. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, right. Thank you, huh? Thank you, huh? Anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. I just wanted to keep it a little short. And here in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm gonna make spaghetti a little early. I'm gonna go ahead, turn this up, turn it around, and you're just watching me build. I hope you enjoy it. You know what I mean? Until we get the views up, because you'd be surprised with 1,000 views, 50 comments, you know, a couple hundred likes. And I noticed that they're doing their best to keep the likes down to a certain number. And I've got people who come over to Cure Meals, our beloved brothers and sisters, and a couple other channels who respect me highly, who didn't even know I had a YouTube channel, and they're hitting the likes and they're not being counted. And this is what I'm talking about. How if you see their murder and genociding, I'm tired of listening to goofy ass Trump and all the politicians. I'm tired of listening to all these dummies when they could have stopped that a long time ago. They're all part of the problem. And I don't want to get into it too deep because I could really, really go in. I don't want to hurt their little emotionally unstable ass feelings. All right. But there's a time and place for everything. You get what I'm saying? Seriously. All right. I've lost all respect for all politicians. I was sitting there saying to myself, Trump may come in and actually do the right thing. And then again, he's bought and paid. He's a fake Jew himself, a convert, a fraud. You know what I'm saying? And it's all big talk. It's all garbage talk to keep everybody pitted at the liberals against. But I'm seeing goofies on Facebook who are liberal. I don't know what the fuck pale skin was. Oh, that's retarded. Think people who I thought was intelligent. And they're like still saying we can't get this rapist and the. I'm like, Trump didn't have to rape nothing, but they all part of that Epstein and all that. Like, you can't make this programming and conditioning go away. And so you don't have to contend with it. The power is within you. It's not to change nobody. The power is within you for you to change. Okay? All right? Did anybody get that? Okay, appreciate it. Because it seems like nobody want to put it up there. I put it up there myself. And I spell it exactly how it is stated. Oh, wow. Breath, as I told y'all, was life in the soul. And the soul, if you want to believe in words called the soul or the source, it's no need to call it anything. But I know it's going to take a long time for some of you to get there. I know a lot of people saying the most high, that's the Christ, the crown. God presence always there. The information's in you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be calcifying your pineal gland, poison in the water, shooting you up with heavy metals and PFAS to bind to you. So that way, when they turn on the thing, you start hitting like Christmas light, spinning around. I'm just saying. 80% of so-called great, smart, intelligent Americans got the jab. And then I think they said another, at first 60% got the follow-up, and around 40, 30 who really believe in the fake leaders and the power of race call, right? Went ahead and got all the other ones. Now I was following a couple of brothers I went to high school with who were half Filipino, whatever, and Italian, and I love them. Now I don't see them posting anywhere, and I'm wondering, are they alive? I don't go searching. Because I do. I adore the people who I grew up with. I really, really do. Every last one of them. Even the ones who I'm hard-pressed against. I adore them. It was some of the best moments and the little entitlement of coming up with that X generation, whatever you want to call it, that my worries and concerns cannot be there, though it's practical. And I always want to make sure that some of them are okay. And every day for the last year, I've been seeing all of them people who I know who should be alive dropping dead. So Fauci, Bill Gates, all those bastards, these politicians, these fake mayors, the people didn't get it. Kamalas and all Obamas, they didn't take that shit. Trump didn't take this shit. None of them did. Ross Perot, Zambon, a lot of us just knew not to take it. But I look at the rest of you. And it's funny how you can put the slavery over your life. And then when they go and correct it, the fallacy, which they haven't really corrected it, y'all still move in the same vehicular homicide way. I can't, No, you're light skinned. You ain't white. Okay? If the youngest child locking a backy gold man spot, these politicians are such as going, yeah, you light skinned. Yeah, stop that white bullshit. Fam grew up on coal, 80s born. Coal camps. My uncle taught me a valuable lesson at a young age. We both come out same color when we leave. It's not about colors. It's get eradicated. Get rid of that conditioning and programming. Get rid of that shit. Listen, hon, we don't care. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're explaining, and I respect that. Now I dig where you're coming from, but strike it from your vernacular. I don't care if you're around ignoramuses in your family. You're a different cut. Get rid of that bullshit. I've had people come to me talking about, yeah, you ain't that dark. The fuck does that mean? It tells me you're uneducated and unethical and you have no morals. And you're emotionally, and I can emotionally drive you up a fucking wall. I mean, that's a fact. Yeah, get rid of it. You ain't no white. I wouldn't even be proud to say that shit. I'm just letting you know. All right? You with us. You with fam. All right? Yeah, you ain't no white. Any of you here in here think you white? I don't have to go to the Rastas or the old sages and seers. Break it down for you myself. I've done it 100 times. So get rid of that shit. Okay? I appreciate it. Exactly. Exactly. It ain't because I'm part Costa Rican, half German, and a little bit of Chant or Coolie or Cathay, but I'm not. It's just, yeah, fuck that color shit, man. That's the problem with the world now. Well, as far as the truth of history, when you know, well, I'm gonna make a video. Damn, y'all just annoying. Anyway, I'm gonna make a video, okay? That speaks on it, but I'm gonna do it in a way that might be beneficial, without all the angst and all the other stupid stuff. You know, and it's about the early fake Jew, the Zionists, religious movies, and why they had to paint them to whitewash history and make everybody feel like they want to be something they can never be, sadly, but by their terms. So I want to put this video together. Well, I'm a couple of chats, have a couple of inserts, maybe me on the green screen talking about pointing out certain things, so people could actually say, okay, well, that's viable, all right? Because when we move in the dynamic of color, we're not moving in what's actually official life. That color has nothing to do with life. You got to remember that life imitates what? Art imitates what? And when you start looking at those things, then you start to go, well, maybe I can explain this to other people around me. I know many of my light-skinned brothers and sisters who used to say, yeah, my great-grandpa told me who you was. But a lot of people, but they used to always say, don't say anything. The fear was it'll mess it up for us. And there are those who are honest. But now, look at all the Aboriginals, the Australians that got the jab. I told y'all that Henry Kissinger made a statement one time in his book that in order to, if we start losing control, that means the numbers and the people ain't warring with each other and they're looking at the enemy who's sitting in high positions. They have to bring the numbers back down to use the military they have that can control it. He said the best way to do it is to paint a scenario of some fake disease and then put the disease in them. That's in it. That's not verbatim, but it's in his book. Damn it! I just get stung by a mosquito. I know it's humid here, but god dang it. Anyway, oh, pal. I hear you. We're all family, though. I don't give a damn about none of that crap. Y'all know it. I mean, I know a lot of truths, but I'm also aware. I'm the one. Did y'all know about the sin area? Think of sin was some bad thing? You know, if they have you thinking it's bad, it probably must be good. And you ain't thinking. I ain't talking about Aleister Crowley, Illuminati, do as thou wilt. You do that anyway, don't you? Shit. The sin area, the Most High, the Christ, the Chrism. You know, when we come through the womb, every last one of us, that is your original baptism. That other baptism, that's in glyphosate, aluminum. Oh, we can go on all day. Urine, feces, parasite eggs. That's what's coming through your damn into you. While y'all ready to jump in the shower, that's what you're washing your ass with. And then a lot of y'all take hot showers, so your pores open up and go. And you're sucking that stuff in, lime and all that. And you think that it's all right. I'm clean. I'm clean. Ah! Shit. Baby girl, I'm about to get off too, mama. But go ahead and play it back. I really wanted to keep it. I was going to get off at 55 minutes. But anyway, I hope y'all really enjoyed the story. It'll be uploaded here in about 5 minutes, hopefully. Baby girl, you got to check it out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I think I told a story, all right? And it's something to look at. But yeah, I enjoy you guys, man. You guys you're practical and with purpose. Sin area, most high. It does not debunk something. All right. We always want to reach up, right? There's a reason. It does not debunk the presence of something greater. But before that, you've got to know the presence and your greatness. And that's the, I guess you could say, the fallacy. All right. It's in your book, Coldest Winter, about the cream. Oh yeah, you can send that. Absolutely. You know, my PO, I think it's in there, right? I think it's in the which code. Let me make sure. My apologies, guys. I don't. You're just annoying, man. They tag teaming me, man. I'm gonna beat them up. Turd, bottom, butt head. I'm gonna tear him up, man. I'm gonna get to him. I'm just right in the camera on my face, huh? Because it's in the witch card on my, on the description. All right, so there it goes right there. Okay, your crown vibrates too much. Awesome. I want to send. Yeah, you can send it to me. Absolutely. There you go. All right, hon. I love having the sisters in here because y'all. Y'all should know y'all are truly the strength of us. I don't care what anybody say. I'm not talking about strength like y'all are the strength that keeps us together. And you saw the falling away, how the families fell apart. Why? Big Mama died in the 70s and 80s. I mean, in the 70s, right? What happened after that? Great grandma and grandma are at it. What happened? Family reunions started stopping, the majority, not all. And the families started to separate because the job, the war, everything became more important. Education, the fallacy of it, the fact that it is nothing but mind control. I can lay the whole thing down, but I'm not here to do that. You guys are the strength. The fabric of you is the strength of us. And we're the power that when needed and required, we turn the fuck up, we turn the fuck on. Okay? When I first started telling it, I wanted to see if anybody was paying attention. So I said, yeah, the women are the power and the men are the strength. That don't even make no fucking sense. Ain't nobody say that. And I was like, I guess they don't know about this. I guess they still running around with this feminine bullshit and all this masculine, all this bullshit. No. The feminine energy and the masculine energy complement one another. Masculine energy can't complement masculine energy. How the fuck that work? That's like saying 1 times 1 equals 0. It can't cancel out because it's multiplying. All right. That's the game of controlling the narrative and actually having people believe in bullshit. The women are the strength, the men are the fucking power. And when we come back into that, the order can start being reestablished by y'all stop being afraid, stop allowing people to manipulate. If you can't talk, you don't say a goddamn thing. Okay? I mean, you ain't get smaller respect, brother. I know. It's something. I loved all the women in my life. I even love my mother. By the definition, what we think love is. For I'm absolutely eternally bonded to him, no matter how, what shape, fashion, or form. And someone say, that takes a big man. Oh, no, it don't. The smallest mite and the ant don't have to go through that, and they don't. It's order. Reestablish the connection, and whatever took place or happened, you don't sit there and reminisce over it. CL Smooth and Pete Rock, we reminisce. Then hold on, let me put it on. I gotta play a minute of it. I ain't gotta play the whole damn thing. All right. Make sure this thing is on. If you don't mind, I can play. I can remove it. I ain't gonna say nothing. Okay. There go the doofy stuff. They always got, and I pay for premium. What am I doing? A commercial? Today they go like this, right? We used to go like this.
I reminisce.
Oh shit! Over the tree. Oh.
I reminisce for a spell with y'all. 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October. My toast. When my granddaddy came sober. But I really got business with the girl up drama. In single parenthood, where I stood by the time she was 21.
Okay, enough of that shit. Oh yeah, back in the skate rink. Oh, come on. He had good stuff. What was that? What was that? So absolutely, you got to 80s born. Show you recently. Not even. Damn it. Cromwell. Already doing it. MS, yes. But you know the more greater thing? It's not even have no want for that. Like you said, you don't have to. Yes, there is a natural order and flow that if you live a certain way, if you you want to be quiet, you don't want to say something, you know it's a lie, you're conflict, that if you embark on it, out those who do stuff to us, yeah, it comes around. But you don't wish nor want any of that. Now your enemy. You allow your enemy to be steeped in their false desires and their devastating choice because they really don't know what's coming. What's already here in many different facets. Okay. All right. Something like New Eurekan soul. That's my day. Come on now. Stop it. Damn, my 2 Puerto Rican wives. Now, tell me about it. Cat dog. Up this South and Moran. I'm up there getting all eating pastel y pianonos. Damn it. Chicharrones. I mean, yeah, I get it all in. Saying I'm willing to work it out. And I'm here. You're right. I've already forgiven them. Absolutely. First, you forgive yourself. Absolutely. 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 I'm here. And sometimes you don't need to be there. You got a big ass family, you know? Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I appreciate you. I know, baby girl, I could stay on, just let her pull it back and listen, but that's the whole 55 minutes. So anyway, I'm signing off. I enjoy and I respect you all. Y'all know a week ago or whatever, I was in snap mode. It happens every year. And it ain't really bad. But sometimes you gotta allow it, get it out. It's not whether it's true or not. You can't allow confusion be your doormat. Not at all. There's a no-win. Okay? Appreciate you guys. All right. Y'all have a beautiful, magnificent day. Like I said, in about an hour and a half or so, I eat something. Turn this around and keep it, well, it's not too bright, but keep it out the sun so that way we can go ahead and make sure it's 100% charged. That way you guys can watch me do the work that I'm doing. Okay? Let me cold beer, much respect. I know that's right, Eddie. Well, come visit and we have a beer. Shit. Can't really set a fire because they got that red thing with the fire, embers and stuff going off. I don't have a good diffuser. You know what I mean? But hey, can't come here and build and live, but you can come here and visit. I've had many people because they moving and come through and hit me up, and I'm like, be right there. You know, don't say nothing. You know, I've done met about 30 people, 30 individuals. Yeah, good people, really good. All right, I don't play games, not at all. I don't politic with confusion and stupidity or people's ignorance. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. You know the Cash App if you want to donate. I'm not gonna hit you with, if you donate $1 now, I have more than enough information that if I wanted, I could do a TED talk and get and bust 20, 30, 40, 50,000 easy. All right. I do this because, like I said, the few are coming through, and that's what matters to me. All right. So let me get out off of here and get myself situated, make me a little something sneaky snack, and put the seaweed on, and I will see you guys shortly. Or y'all see me, drilling holes in my finger and cutting pinkies off, and falling off a thing, getting wet, chemicals. And no, I'm playing. I'm being retarded. I appreciate you guys. See you guys in a little bit.